Hello everybody, making my second video for today. One, quite honestly, that I haven't made because my wife doesn't want me to make this video. Probably because she knows a bunch of my friends and neighbors are going to be watching and they're not going to like this video. But for the last 25 years, I was born in Michigan. Okay, let me get that straight to you. And for the last 25 years since my retirement from the military, I've moved back to Michigan. And there's something that needs to be said. Michigan is a socialist state. And our Governor Whitmer, commonly known around here as Twitmer, is a socialist slash quasi-communist governor. Along with our Secretary of State and Attorney General, they're birds of a feather, put it that way. And the Lieutenant Governor, okay? They're all whacked out loons who do nothing but lie. They made a whole political career about it. Now, since Whitmer took office, she's 26, she's out of office, she's the end of her second term, that'll be 8 years. She got elected on the slogan, "We'll fix the damn roads," quote unquote. Well, she's going to leave office next year, the end of next year. And the roads and bridges and infrastructure in the state of Michigan are going to be worse than the day she took office. Has she spent a good amount of money on the roads? Yes. But she took all that COVID money that Biden sent out to the states, and not much of it went to, I'm sorry, camera fell down. Not much of it went out to infrastructure and roads, stuff like that. She wasted it all, most of it anyway, on her liberal socialist agenda and did not fix the damn roads. Period. Did she do some fixing? Yes. Did she do enough to even keep up? No. We're going to have more bridges that need to be removed from service now than what we had when she took office. She's a failure. But worse than being an economic failure and funding a bunch of fixing up of lands and roads and all this stuff for businesses that never came and never built a factory and all this stuff, she was just convinced she could do all this, bring these businesses in. They didn't come, most of them. A few did, but most didn't. And probably in total, if you go and looked it up, it's probably billions of dollars she wasted of taxpayer money. That's one issue, just one of the issues. Everywhere you look with Twitmer, it's an issue, okay? But in the United States, I never thought that we would allow crimes against humanity to even happen, let alone go unpunished. Which we've done, not only in Michigan, but they did in New York and a bunch of states. During COVID, Twitmer took people with COVID out of hospitals and put them in nursing homes so they could infect the most weak and the people who were most being killed by COVID-19. She would purposely infect them and kill them. She sent these COVID patients to nursing homes so that the old people in nursing homes would die. And then her and nobody else in state government had any knowledge of science. And so they forced people to wear masks. Another crimes against humanity, okay? Now, has anybody said we're going to hold her accountable? No. Nobody's prosecuting them. Not at the state level, not at the federal level. They're just going to let crimes against humanity go on. No matter how many people those crimes killed. When you're talking about people in nursing homes here that were purposely infected by what she did, it's tens of thousands. Is she on the scale of Hitler? No. Did she purposely kill people? Yes. And nobody's doing anything about it. And they know early on under COVID who was primarily the ones dying. It was old people and people with morbidities, excuse me. Those were the people who were dying. The young kids that had nothing wrong with them and the young people that had nothing, they weren't dying. They might have got really sick, but they didn't die. The people basically who were old and were already sick died. But Whitmer made it worse by doing the COVID-19 people into nursing homes, and she cut off children from their education. Children weren't dying from us. Okay? Very few children died from COVID-19. They really weren't at risk. So closing down schools and ruining their education and their life, she should be held accountable for that kind of ignorance that she did. Because there was no reason to stop children from going to school. We knew they weren't dying. Were they getting affected? Yeah, most of them were getting affected and they were having cold and flu-like symptoms. That was it. The kids were not dying from COVID-19. They knew that right away. They had a bunch of them testing positive, and a week later they were fine. Sometimes even a day or two later. They didn't even have a lot of them. They just had cold symptoms. So a lot of the children actually had no symptoms. That's the other part of it. So the whole thing was a joke. Twitmer won't be held accountable. But I just want to make this video for perpetuity, let people know, hey, this woman was a complete idiot. This woman is a criminal. She is the singularly largest mass murderer that Michigan's ever had. She purposely sent those COVID patients to nursing homes to kill people. In my book, that's premeditated murder given the facts of the situation. And I just wanted to come on here and say it so that everybody would know. She knew the facts. She did it anyway. There you go. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.